Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
Well, we have finished Hosea, which means that right now we are getting into what we like to call the book wrap-up. So we are wrapping up
the
Hosea.
book of Hosea.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's fantastic.
Another notch on your belt, guys.
Right, yeah.
You have read another book of the Bible.
So that was the 28th book of the Bible, just so everybody, for anybody keeping track.
I wasn't. Good on you.
And so we're going to be going, after we're done with the wrap-ups and the contradictions and all the things, we're going to be going into the 29th book of the Bible.
Wow.
So it's fantastic.
That's
awesome.
crazy.
There's only like 60-something books, so like number-wise, we're getting real close to that midway number of,
amazing.
like books.
I never would have thought that we would have made it this far.
I honestly, when we started this thing, I didn't think it would take us this long to fucking read the goddamn Bible.
No, I know. When I was talking to somebody else about our project, what we're doing, they were like, 4 years just to get that far? What? And like, I don't know. I have no comparison,
Right, yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, yeah, but we're reading like a chapter a night, take the weekends off.
And to be fair, we spend an inordinate amount of time on each chapter. So, I mean, part of it is our process that we do.
Right.
But part of it is, it's a really fucking thick book. Right. It's got a lot of shit in it.
So when people are like, it took you 4 years and you haven't even got through it yet, you're only not even halfway through it. I'm like, okay, but when you say you read it, like, what does that mean to you? Right. Do you understand what you're reading? Because I don't. That's why
they have one of those like Bible in a year things, and it's just like, and they read this bit,
they're like,
and that bit.
And they just buzz through it right quick. And I'm like, well, yeah, we could do that, but I like discussing it with you, and I like being like, oh, those cities are these cities. Oh, and putting it all together.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, and I think that either one of us could have finished reading the Bible within a year. Sure. Like that's definitely a doable task.
But you know what?
We wouldn't have got as much out of it.
And we would have stopped because that shit be boring. Yeah. I would not have gotten this far if it wasn't fun.
Right. And we're stopping to research. We're stopping to talk about it. We're stopping to question. We're stopping to
make fun
laugh at it. Or, like
yell at it.
Right. Yeah. There's lots of things that need to be done as you're reading through the Bible if you want it to be entertaining and also informative.
Exactly.
Right. And I feel like if you're going to read something for as long as we're reading something,
you might as well
it should be fucking
out
entertaining.
Of it, right?
And hopefully you guys think the same.
Well, I mean, obviously somebody does. We got a few followers that come back every day or every week.
Yeah, we're actually getting pretty big these days. There's people coming to me all the time like, I saw you on a top da-da-da-da list. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well.
We're something.
We're climbing up there.
Not something, but we're something.
We're something to us.
We're something, yeah.
In our little circle.
We're something else.
We're something else.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Anyway, so we're getting into, what was it again today?
We're doing the Hosea Wrap-Up.
All right, you ready to do this?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right. We are getting into Hosea.
Wrap-Up.
Wrap-Up.
You didn't even say the other thing.
Hosehead.
Oh, there we go. I was waiting
go
for it.
to hell.
I'm like, what the fuck's wife doing? She didn't even say Hosehead in the intro, or now I had to prompt you.
Here's the thing. You know what?
What?
I'm drinking wine.
You are.
And let me tell you what a trash human being I am. And it makes me happy every time I say it. This is how I drink wine. I drink it in a mason glass.
You do.
Over ice.
You do.
And I drink it like it's a punch.
You do.
And sometimes I even drink it with a straw.
You do.
And, you know, I've had people be like, oh, my God, what is wrong with you? And here's what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I enjoy having fun, and that is fun to me. And It doesn't change the taste at all because I'm not a connoisseur of fine things.
To be fair, it's not fine wine.
No.
We just got cheap
it's like,
shit, you know?
$4 wine or some shit from the gas station?
Fuck cares, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean... That is how I drink wine, and I enjoy every goddamn minute of it.
Right, and I think that's the purpose of most things in life that that you want to do, right? Yeah. If you want to drink wine, you might as well fucking enjoy how you're drinking it.
I don't need a wine glass. You
don't need a wine glass. No. Why do you need a wine glass? That's one of those traditions, those things set in. You know, unless you're like a Romize or what is it? Fromage is cheese. What
are those guys called?
I don't know. Where they taste, they breathe it in and they
take a little with their tongue
thing and everything,
and then they spit it out.
Right.
I don't get that.
We're not doing that with Boone's Farm. That's just not how it goes. So
this isn't Boone's Farm, but honestly, it might as well be.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So let me get my shit together and talk about Hosehead.
Okay.
All right. So Hosea, is listed as the first of the 12 minor prophets in the Tanakh in the Christian Old Testament.
Okay.
Did you know that? We've talked about it before.
You said the Tanakh, which is Jewish. That's not Christian.
Right.
So I just want to make sure.
I'm sorry. I meant to say and in the Christian Old Testament. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just like,
I knew what I meant. So I was like, what are you talking about? Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
And
wanted to make sure.
Both.
Yep.
So, so we're into the last bit of the Old Testament here because all that's left is the minor prophets.
Right.
So,
right.
That's where we're at. The book is set around the fall of the northern kingdom of Israel, as we know.
Right.
In the last year of the reign of Jeroboam, as we know, who was king of Israel. And as such, it denounces the worship of gods other than Yahweh.
Right. But that's not exclusive to this prophet in any way whatsoever.
It really isn't. I'm like, what's special about him? Absolutely nothing.
Right. It's pretty much an ongoing theme throughout the most of the Old Testament.
So. What's really fun is when we get down to the chapter breakdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I just did like a little summary just as a reminder of what happened.
For sure.
And I made a legend that has a key that I'll tell you about that says all the things that were repeated throughout this chapter, which kind of echoes the Old Testament as a whole thus far.
Yeah. Okay? And we kind of commented on that throughout the book too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. This book starts out using the story of Hosea's unfaithful wife.
Right.
Do you remember her name?
It was Gomer. Wow. I pulled that one out of my ass.
You sure as fuck did. I don't know how you remembered that, but I am impressed.
I don't have notes in front of me, just for the record.
No, you don't, because I don't allow it.
No.
I don't.
I am strictly off the top of my head.
As a matter of fact, before we started this podcast, you were talking about
tonight's podcast, not the whole podcast.
Oh, yeah. Before this episode.
Yeah.
You were suggesting that we change up the way we do things a little bit so that you would have a better idea of where the conversation might be going. And I was like, absolutely fucking not.
I mostly, the part that I want to, like, I hate it when I miss a theme, because sometimes we'll be reading, that's the part that bothers me. Is when we go back and we do some studying afterwards, and then I'm like, oh,
right,
that's what that was, and then like I missed the whole fucking point,
right?
And sometimes like when we started things back in like Exodus and Genesis and everything, there's themes that I missed up until well into the prophets and stuff.
But I'm thinking that leans towards once we're done reading the Bible, I've been feeling this more and more and more.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we need to go back and start over and listen to our old episodes with like, oh, now I understand. And also it would give us an opportunity to answer the questions that I missed.
Got
that,
it.
That we had talked about.
Yeah. So the way we should do that, we should do it as a video podcast.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it should be you and I silhouetted with our cat in the middle.
You're like Mystery Theater 3000
Mystery
us.
Science Theater Sacrilegious Discourse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So anyway, I was like, you do not get supplied with any information about what's coming so that your reaction can be genuine and off the cuff. And if you know what's coming, then you're not fresh.
No, I know. And I agree with you. I do. I just, I
know sometimes you forget to take off your editor hat and your podcaster hat. And, you are here with me on the microphone and this is what we're doing.
Right.
And you like forget which hat you're wearing for a minute.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not a refined, finished product. We're bumbling through, travesty of a talk show.
You keep wanting to refine it, and I'm like, but that goes against everything that we stand for.
Our fans would hate us if we were better,
right? We're renowned at this point for being a goddamn mess, unprofessional as fuck, and not knowing what the hell we're doing.
Right.
So why change a thing that works?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Besides, I would have to plan ahead just a little bit better, and I don't want to. All right, carrying on. The book starts out using the story of Hosehead's unfaithful wife, Gomer, as a metaphor for the people of Israel's abandonment of Yahweh. Poor Yahweh.
Yeah.
He's sitting in the corner crying.
Always getting abandoned.
The book dates back to around 760-ish to 720-ish BCE.
Okay.
And is one of the oldest books of the Tanakh.
Got it.
Which we have talked about that before as well.
Yeah, and there's definitely some like the themes were odd in some places, especially like that the male references to Israel were odd because throughout most of the rest of the Bible it was referenced
always
female.
A she. Yeah.
So that was one of those things that caught me by surprise in this book.
Same. And then also referring to Israel as Ephraim quite often.
As Ephraim? No. They referred to Israel as Jacob. The Ephraim was the one tribe that was the leader of. They referred to them because they were the leader of Israel. They were the top tribe.
It seemed like they were talking like they would say blah 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 blah. Ephraim is so bad.
Right. They used Ephraim as a placeholder for Israel, but they didn't refer to Israel as Ephraim. Ephraim was a tribe.
It just, I don't know. It seemed more, I couldn't always get what was happening because they phrased it differently and they used different words.
If I had to guess, Ephraim was probably the closest tribe to where Hosea or whoever was writing this was physically at the time.
Yeah.
So that's who they dealt with the most.
Probably.
So Ephraim was the one that they were talking to or not talking to or
arguing
whatever.
with or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. So this book even predates the final recensions of the full Torah, the Pentateuch. So they were still stapling the Pentateuch together when these stories of Hosehead were floating around.
Got it.
Okay, that's how old this shit is.
Right.
And it shows.
Yeah.
Because like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The book has a long history of formation and being passed from person to person. Transmission is what they call that.
Right.
Much like an STD. I'm sorry, STI.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's much less. Yeah. So
that's pretty much what the Bible is, right?
That's why I said it. Yeah. So I just find it very interesting that this book is like, yeah, this is the shit, and I'm like, but it's so old and dumb. And it's as old as the other shit, but
it's no less dumb than anything else.
It is more dumb. It's more dumb than the Pentateuch, because the Pentateuch, like, that is old school Judaism. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can, like, I can nod my head and say, okay. But then you start getting this other stuff, and I'm like, no, you don't really go. You're not part of that. Go away.
I mean, they are, but it's not. I don't know. There's levels of togetherness, right? And this was not really well put together.
No,
and it was too much of one thing and not enough of other things that it just didn't really.
I have a feeling
feel cohesive.
I have a feeling that the other minor prophet stories are going to be very similar.
And that's probably why they're minor prophets.
They're just going to be like little snippets from various places throughout. And it's like, but why couldn't we have stapled them together in the places where they belong?
Right.
This is so dumb.
Yeah.
You know, I just, it's not logical, and it's really offending my sensitivities.
Sure.
Because it's not how I would have done it.
Right. But there's a lot of things in the Bible that I wouldn't have done the way they did.
Oh, well, that is true. That is true. You're not wrong. Much of the opening material in oral form, so not oral sex, but, oral discussion.
Yes.
As opposed to email.
Right. Yeah, definitely not email.
It does go back to Hosea himself. So.
Okay.
There was a dude named Hosea.
We did talk about this before, that a lot of people think that there is a person named Hosea that wrote some of this stuff. But there is also, as we went through some of the Q&As, there has been stuff added to this story too.
Yes.
So it's not strictly Hosea.
No, that's what it says. Much of the opening material in oral form. So not specifically what was written down.
Okay.
But like the general opening, the kind of the gist.
Got it. Yeah.
Goes back to him.
Okay.
The latter collection of sayings and individual accounts, however, was probably done in Judah at a much later date.
Got it.
So
they don't have a specific idea as to what those time frames were?
Nope. Okay. Just later.
Got it.
And that shows too, because like in the first few chapters, we're talking about the fact that the Israelites were cheating on Yahweh, and their kids were named after bad things, and that's sad. And so Hosea needed to marry the whore Gomer, and then he needed to like forgive her, just like God's gonna do, and all that. And like the whole thing was like this metaphorical story.
Yeah.
And then like the next chapter, like we read a few chapters of that, and then the next chapter was like, oh, we're not talking about that anymore, with no warning.
Yeah.
And it was just, oh, we're going back to like old school fire and brimstone, but worse.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's old stuff. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the prophet Hosea, which we've talked about him before.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is his book.
Right.
He prophesied during the worst of Israel's history, the northern kingdom's decline and fall in the 8th century BCE.
I take some issue with that because the Babylonian exile happened, and we're saying this is the worst of Israel's history?
Well, it's when the northern kingdom, it was their decline and fall.
Yeah, but
they fell.
The rest of what was Israel got scattered, smothered, covered, as you would say.
Yes, but that's not the northern kingdom. This is the northern kingdom.
All right.
That we're talking about.
And I guess you're right. To be fair, none of them ever came back to their former tribe states. Right. So, yeah, that was pretty much the end of the northern kingdoms.
Right. So, I mean,
for all intents and purposes.
The southern part, they did have some shit, but they came back from it. So, yeah, not as dark as being like swallowed altogether.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The people's abandonment of faith was rampant, having turned away from God in order to serve both the calves of Jeroboam and the Canaanite gods Baal and Asherah.
Now, I just want to point out one more time that the calves of Jeroboam or whatever were actually it was
an alternate practice and worship of Yahweh.
Right, right. Because we did cover that at one point, too.
Which I still find fascinating as all hell.
Yeah, same here. But that was like, even back, there was calves in the Bible with Aaron.
Yeah.
Back when Moses was around.
Yeah.
Right. And Aaron was a big character, right?
Yeah.
He comes down from the mountain, and what does Aaron have there? He's got a fucking golden calf.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So obviously there was some sentiment that this God was in cahoots with this calf idol.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
but it was a separate idea that didn't truck with this sect of Judaism.
Yeah, it was two different groups, two different tribes of Israelites arguing about how to properly worship whatever you want to call this God.
Right.
And some obviously thought that calf should be included.
Right.
And obviously the other ones didn't, and they kind of went out. But
kind is a very light word for what happened.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. What I find interesting is that in India, cows are holy creatures that cannot eat.
They are.
So
to some,
right.
There are many religions in India.
No, you're right. You're right.
So
I was generalizing, but it's my understanding as a very, very ignorant American that cows are holy creatures in India, and that generally speaking, like you don't rush them in the road. Like when you come to you're driving and a bunch of them walk in front of the road, you don't rush them because they're holy creatures.
Right.
You gotta let them pass, and you can't strike them with your car. And yeah.
Yeah. It's so I just looked it up just to make sure it's Hinduism that is the ones that worship or find them sacred, at least for cows.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into it more than that because I don't really know much more about it than that. I am actually very intrigued with Hinduism because there's so much going on over there.
Right.
And I would love to get into it at some point, but we've got way too much just in Christianity and Judaism.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know.
I just have to believe that given the proximity that it came from a similar source.
Sure.
It had to have.
I mean, I think a lot of ideas in ancient times came from similar sources. Mm-hmm. They were cows were something that fed and nourished a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. That, I mean, even in Genesis, they mentioned livestock as one of the first opening things, right? Yeah. So these animals that provided for these societies were really, really fucking important.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't have... It's not separate from them. You know, at that time, like now when we eat a hamburger or whatever or drink milk,
it's completely...
we don't see that cow ever unless you pass it in the country.
There are people who don't tell their children that they're eating cow meat.
Right.
Like that's a cow you're putting in your mouth.
Right.
And then like the kid finds out in like middle school, oh my God, before they put it together. Yeah. And, you know, then it's too late. They can't be vegetarian then.
Back then, they would have slaughtered it right there or even at the ceremony for their church or whatever, you know? Like, those are things that happened in front of everybody. Right. And as a matter of the normal course of a day. Mm-hmm. So that stuff was very prevalent and important to them. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm done with that.
Okay.
We can move along.
Move along. Other sins followed besides, you know, all them worshiping of them cows and shit. Yeah. The book claims that those other sins included homicide, perjury, theft, and sexual deviation.
And I'm sure those things never happened in the other places.
No, just there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Hosea declares that unless they repent of these sins, God will allow their nation to be destroyed.
Right. He's gonna have them murdered for murdering people.
Yeah. And kind of like when you spank a kid for them hitting somebody.
But and you say that there's they say that these things were happening. Right. But in the book of Hosea that we read, mostly the thing that he was complaining about was idol worship. Yeah. It wasn't these other things. The biggest hang up was idol worship. Yeah. And he was going to murder people because of idol worship.
Because they were not worshiping him.
Right. Now, you can imply that because they're worshiping something like Baal or whatever, there might be child sacrifice going on. There might be murder things going on. There might be other things happening.
But as far as the perjury and theft, that was not anything that was really brought up.
That's just like, yeah, they were bad people. They probably did all these things.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
But it doesn't say that in the Bible.
Right.
And I just wanted to point out one more time, idols. Yes. That is what he's pissed off about. Idols.
Yeah. Not me, somebody else. That sucks. You're dead.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
And that is the biggest theme of why he punishes his people throughout the Bible.
Yes.
So far. Yeah.
Yeah. Hosea declares that, and I already read that, blah, blah, blah. He declares that unless they repent of these sins, that God will allow their nation to be destroyed, which is what happens, and the people will be taken into captivity by Assyria, which happens.
Right, yeah.
And Assyria was the greatest nation of that time.
Sure.
The prophecy of Hosea centers on God's unending love towards a sinful Israel and God's agony over his people's betrayal. So he's like, oh, I'm so sad that I'm murdering you and letting your entire northern kingdom get swallowed up by these other cultures. I'm going to cry all night that I let that happen.
It's no wonder that we have such a problem with Christians being so... They feel like they're shit on by everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's built into, like, their God shits on them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they just think that their whole mentality is being shit on.
Yeah.
That's their whole existence.
Well, okay, there's, like, the trope of the Jewish people have a guilty conscience, like, much like Catholics have a guilty conscience. Like, there's this whole trope that applies to both of them, right? That they're, like, always feeling like that A, their God is putting upon them, and B, that everybody else is trying to get them, and C, that they need to apologize preemptively, right? Sure. Like, that's a trope.
Okay.
The difference being that they're like, oh, sorry, whereas the Christians are like, I'm put upon and that pisses me off and I'm gonna punch you in the fucking eye.
Right.
Like, whoa, calm your tits there, Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the difference I see between the two, is the reaction to the perceived built-in.
I want to take a step back because I think, the part of you is right about the Catholic faith, but the strongest people that are kind of crappy to me online right now are actually Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
There's a strong Christian nationalist thread that's kind of weaving its way into the Catholic faith. It's
interesting to me because growing up, I never knew people's religions or anything, and I never heard any anti-Semitism or anything.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it in person, like, I did not realize it was a thing that happened.
Right.
Because I never saw it with my own eyes. I never heard people complaining about it.
Right.
I didn't realize it was present.
Yeah, and why would it be, right?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But okay.
And then the first time that I ever actually witnessed anti-Semitism in person, I belonged to a crafting group, and the majority of the ladies there went to mass on Sundays, and like, they were very, very involved in the Catholic Church.
Right.
And I don't remember who in particular they were discussing. It was probably a political figure.
Sure.
And the two ladies that were running the group, they just threw it out like it was nothing, like, well, they are Jewish.
Right.
And I, like, my jaw just, like, dropped, like I had never, and I was like, oh, that's what that is. I didn't know. And, like, after that, because yes, shamefully, I did keep attending the craft session. I mean, it was a great craft. I'm just saying. It wasn't long for the world after that. The group did fizzle out.
Right.
But as I went after that, and politics were getting more and more heated at the time,
right,
I started hearing it more and more and more. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, this is a thing. Like, this actually is a thing. And I could not wrap my brain around it. Like,
right.
Christians pretend that they love Judaism when it behooves them to do so because they hate the Muslims more than the Jews. But Catholics are just straight up, no, we just don't like Jews at all. And I'm like, holy shit, all y'all.
Right.
Like, y'all are all nasty.
Yeah.
Wow. And like, when you see the boys in khaki with their like little light posts and they're screaming, Jews will not replace us, I'm always like, you're all, what are you? Who are you?
Right. Where did you come from? How did that happen? What? Yeah. No, I don't understand it.
I don't, like, who's trying to replace what? Who? I don't understand. Like, okay, you're all men or young men, boys,
mm-hmm,
and you're all wearing khakis. So, you all went shopping together. So you have friends, and you're all screaming about being replaced. But I'm like, but you're white, though. Nobody's replacing you. You're literally the top of the chain.
It's really easy to inspire through hate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. That is the entire reason. Hate sells, and it's one of the biggest downfalls of our society right now, because that it's becoming more and more prevalent that people are pitching hate because they know that it will sell.
Clickbait.
Oh yeah.
Feelings.
Yeah. I mean, we have whole news, stations dedicated to hate. So
news in quotes.
Right. Yeah. In quotes.
Because in court, they admit that they are not news. So I have to put that in quotes.
Definitely.
So Hosea prophesied over the course of around 66 years, from 790 to about 724 BCE, and thus served 8 years in the reign of Jeroboam, 33 years in the reign of Uzziah, the whole reigns of both Jotham and Ahaz, and 3 years in the reign of Hezekiah. Okay. So he had a lot of kings come and go in his lifetime.
Yeah.
He would not, however, have survived the taking of Samaria. And Hosea's message did influence later prophets such as Jeremiah.
Got it.
So,
okay. Yep.
All right. Now we get into, I created this legend. And there's 4 keys. Okay. There's a devil face, which when I put that at the end of a note means God is saying, I'm going to get ya. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a Pinocchio nose, which means someday I'll love you, but this is not that day. There's a sad face with a tear, and that means y'all fucking suck.
That happened a lot.
And then there's a heart that says blessings upon you right fucking now.
Those were usually at the end of the chapter.
Yeah. All right. So chapter 1 gets a Pinocchio. That was the someday I'll love you, but this is not that day.
Right.
Okay. Chapter 1 was God instructs Hosea to marry a prostitute, Gomer, as a symbolic act of Israel's unfaithfulness to him. Hosea and Gomer have 3 children, each given symbolic names reflecting God's judgment on Israel. And then he finishes out the chapter by telling them, like, you kind of suck, but there's a remnant. I'll save some of you. Okay. So moving into chapter 2, I have 3 faces here. Okay. I've got, y'all fucking suck. I'm going to get ya. And, oh, someday I'll love you, but this is not that day. Okay. Chapter 2 is God outlines Israel's infidelity through metaphors of Gomer's adultery. And he again punishes or threatens punishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just
it's a theme.
Yeah.
It's a theme.
I mean, those were the 4 things that appeared throughout these chapters.
Right. Yeah.
It's a theme.
It is.
And I decided going forward, I'm going to carry these little things to help me more easily categorize. Yeah. Oh, this chapter was where he hated them again.
We should have like a tally in the episode notes that shows like how many of these we had and how many of that.
Yeah, I agree. So, I agree.
Right.
All right. Chapter 3 is a Pinocchio, which is someday I'll love you, but this is not that day.
Right, yeah.
God tells Hosea to love Gomer again despite her infidelity, which is supposed to mirror God's continued love for Israel. Hosea redeems her, signifying God's plan to redeem Israel after a period of separation.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Israel, you done been fucking up, but you're so cute. One day you'll be good.
Yeah, we just need to take a break.
Yeah, I might love you someday.
Right.
Okay, so number 4, I have 2 of the icons. We've got the sad face, y'all fucking suck. And then we've got the devil face, which is, I'm gonna fucking get ya. I'm gonna get ya.
Yeah.
Okay. So chapter 4 was God brings charges against Israel, accusing the people of lacking faithfulness, love, and knowledge of him. I'm going to tell you, you need to keep track of that word.
Knowledge.
They have no knowledge of him.
Well, yeah, we talked about that a lot because how could they have knowledge of him?
I'm giving you a hint, though, about a question that may or may not come up on the pop quiz tomorrow.
We're doing tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. All right. The land suffers as a result of their sin with widespread idolatry and immorality. Priests and leaders are also held accountable for leading the people astray, which is kind of cool. At least, he's not just yelling at the bottom tier. He's also yelling at those at the top. So
yeah, I guess. It still doesn't sit well with me. But
well, chapter 5 has the same theme as the previous chapter. I might love you one day, but this is not that day. Y'all fucking suck. I'm gonna get ya.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
God announces judgment on Israel and Judah for their pride, idolatry, and reliance on foreign alliances instead of him. Like, how dare you turn to Egypt and Assyria, motherfuckers.
Or necessity so that you try not to get, demolished by them.
How dare you get squished in the cleavage of these two great, mighty, breasticle nations.
I think it's kind of funny, not funny, but they complain a lot throughout Hosea about how they cheated people and did different things and how they were really rich, but none of that matters when they got taken over anyway. So, right? I don't know. It just struck me that way.
So they seek help from Assyria, which makes sense, but it will not save them. Womp womp. The chapter ends with God withdrawing from them until they earnestly seek his face. He's like, I'm not coming back till you love me again. And they're like, bitch, bye.
I mean, it basically never happens the way he wants it to. So,
right. So, chapter 6 is the sad phase, which is again, y'all fucking suck. Okay.
Yeah.
Israel expresses a desire to return to the Lord, but God responds that their repentance is superficial, like morning mist, which is interesting because we liked the word do.
Right.
In our reading.
Yeah.
But this
and then later God
do is good.
Do is good, yeah.
Do.
God
did the do.
He did the do, yeah.
He desires steadfast love, our God, and perpetual fear of God, rather than the sacrifices and offerings of a people's shallow faith.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 7.
I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
That's still a theme today. People love to be like, well, those just aren't real Christians.
Yeah.
They don't believe correctly,
Yeah.
So there's like two camps. You're either like not at all on board or you're not a real Christian or a real worshiper of whatever God. Like you just don't believe strongly enough or you don't believe at all. Either way, you suck worse than I do.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm always the best, whoever I happen to be.
Right. And it disallows you from arguing with them because they're like, yeah, I don't care what that person said. They suck.
You've already been dismissed.
Oh, well, okay. So there is no information that you will take in that's going to mean anything to you other than what you already know.
Yeah, it's like they've stuck their fingers in their ears and went, I can't hear you.
Essentially, that's it. Yeah.
And it's rather childish and silly, but it's also like, okay, I can accept that then. I will move on from you.
Yeah, it is absolutely childish. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, Hosea 7 is the same thing. Y'all fucking suck. God condemns Israel for their ongoing wickedness, including lying, deceit, and alliances with foreign nations.
Oh, not that.
Despite their suffering, they refuse to turn to God. Their hearts are compared to an overheated oven, inflamed by their sinful passions and political intrigue. And then I added, what a pancake. Chapter 8 is, y'all fucking suck. I'm going to get ya.
Okay. All right.
Israel's rebellion leads to judgment as they have set up kings without God's approval and worshipped idols, particularly the calf idol in Samaria. God warns that they will reap the whirlwind, a metaphor for the chaos their actions will bring.
Right.
Their trust in foreign alliances and false gods will lead to their destruction, and then it does.
Sure. Again, these prophs know these things are happening.
Yeah.
Like it's
political. It's
not
politics.
It's written on the fucking walls,
So this chapter 9, we have a little bit of a switch. Instead of the previous two chapters where y'all fucking suck, I'm gonna get ya. Now it's, I'm gonna get ya. Y'all fucking suck. God declares that Israel will face exile because of their sin, particularly their unfaithfulness in worship and failure to recognize his blessings. The people's religious festivals will cease, and they will experience barrenness and loss.
Oh, no.
Judgment is coming, and they will return to slavery in Egypt and Assyria.
I see.
Okay.
All right.
Chapter 10, we're back to the standard formula. Y'all fucking suck. I'm going to get ya. Israel is compared to a luxuriant vine that produces fruit for itself, symbolizing their selfishness and idolatry.
Oh, yeah. Don't grow things for yourself. That would be horrible.
Fucking wine.
Right?
Grapevines.
As you're drinking
I know.
wine.
That is kind of funny. God will break down their altars and sacred stones as part of his judgment. The chapter ends with a call to sow righteousness and seek the Lord.
Yeah.
But the people continue to trust in their own strength. No.
They trust in whatever they need to trust in.
Sure.
Because survival is probably pretty paramount to them. You know, I would imagine.
Living is kind of good. I enjoy living.
Right. And I can't imagine that in those days, 3,000 whatever years ago, that life was real easy.
Yeah.
You know, it was probably pretty fucking hard. So.
All right. Well, chapter 11, we have a Pinocchio nose.
Yeah.
You remember what that one is?
God says he's going to love him someday or something like that.
But this is not that
but
day.
That's not that day. Yeah, today's not
But
the day.
also, it's because y'all fucking suck.
Right.
God recalls his tender love for Israel. My endless love.
He keeps referring to this love that he had for them, right? It's like the MAGA crowd, Make America Great Again. When was that?
Right, exactly.
Which exact time frame? When did that happen?
Right.
Because I want to know which decade,
what was the pretty
century,
one?
whatever he would. When are you talking about? When did you love them?
Right.
Or is it just always love mixed with hate? Because that's how it feels. It feels like you constantly have them teetering on this, precipice of, hate and love. Precipice. Sorry,
Yeah.
I said that completely wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah,
Cliff
that
edge.
thing. The one thing. That place.
Yeah.
But they're always right there. It's always love, hate, love, hate, love, hate.
They're like 6 feet from the edge, and how's that song go?
I know. I knew what you were getting at, but I don't remember exactly how it goes. So
I think it's Nickelback too,
probably
which is funny.
So
all right, so that was 11. Now we move on to chapter 12, and that one is I will love you one day, but this is not that day because you fucking suck.
Okay.
God rebukes Israel for their deceit and reliance on foreign nations. Again, some more, always.
Yeah. Using
Jacob's story as a contrast. Remember Jacob?
I do.
He calls Israel to return to the Lord and practice love and justice. Ephraim is denounced for dishonesty in business and idol worship, leading to inevitable punishment.
Yeah. I mean, it seems that's always the case. Yeah.
Well, here we go again.
Okay.
Chapter 13. I will love you someday, but this is not that day. Because you fucking suck!
Right.
God recalls Israel's past faithfulness and how they prospered, but now in their arrogance, they have forgotten him. Womp womp. Poor God.
Yeah.
They turn to idols, which leads to their downfall. The chapter ends with a vivid description of the coming judgment.
Yeah. Is that the one that had I can't remember if that was the one that had where they ripped open people and kids against, I'm not going to get too visual into it, but okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty terrible.
And well, I mean, God tells them that he will destroy them like a lion or leopard, and how,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then last chapter of the book, we end strong with I will love you someday, but today is not that day.
Right.
Okay.
And it was actually right. It ended on a note of hope-ish, as long as you worship God the way that God wants you to worship him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which never happens.
Right.
Ever. Because who the fuck can worship somebody the way you want them to worship him if he doesn't talk to anybody and he only talks to like some random dude?
Right.
That makes no fucking sense.
It makes no fucking sense. The final chapter offers a message of hope and repentance. God calls Israel to return to him with sincere hearts. And in return, he promises healing, love, and restoration.
Yeah.
The chapter concludes with an invitation for those who are wise to understand God's ways, which lead to life and blessing. But we know that doesn't happen. They die.
Right. And moreover, you don't get judged individually. You get judged based on your king and the people that are in charge and whatever your society at the time is doing, because he'll destroy whole swaths of people because that group of people doesn't worship him the way he wants them to. And yes, he will redeem some of them, but even then he says sometimes depending on which prophet we're talking about, that they didn't necessarily deserve to be redeemed. He's just changing their hearts and going to send them back to whatever.
Yeah.
He's all kinds of fucked up and wrong.
And if you're women, children, or slaves, you have very little choice in who you worship, when, and how.
Right.
So, like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So.
One thing that always struck me with religion is that, and this is something that made me think about the reasons for religion and made me not want to pursue it, right? And that's that religion seems to always hit people at their lowest point, right? Like, and that's one of those things where, you know, even just individually, people will come up to someone who is downtrodden and be like, have you read the Bible today? Have you thought about Jesus today? You know, I'm really praying for you. You know, these are things the Christians in our society, they prey on the downtrodden. Yeah. Because they know that's the time to hit them. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And more than that, it's built into systems like AA, for example, right? It's a 12-step program that involves God. Now, it's not necessarily the Christian God, but there is a lot of, you know,
the majority of them actually are based on
the majority of them are
God.
The Christian God. It doesn't have to be the Christian God. Right. But anyway, but they take people when they are at their lowest and they institute these things to indoctrinate them either back in or in for the first time into these systems that then create a new follower. And why wouldn't you take the person who is succeeding and say, oh, God must be treating you right? It's because they don't give a fuck. Right. Right. They're not going to see it because it doesn't have any, like, I'm doing just fine. What do you mean God did this for me? Fuck you. Yeah. Right.
I work hard to get where I'm at, kind of thing.
Right. But you don't go up to the person who's downtrodden and say, well, God punished you because you must have fucking deserved it.
I mean,
that's not what they say.
Unless it's, you know, the hurricane victims or.
Right. No, we had that chat in our special episode. But generally on an individual basis, you don't go up to the downtrodden person and say, you must suck. God must have punished you on purpose, right? Generally. Right. You try to take that person and say, there's hope in God, right? Yeah. And that's how they draw them in. It's not, it's very nefarious, in my opinion, on how that whole thing works.
It's insidious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Anyway, that was all I had there. You got anything else to add?
Nah, fuck Hosehead.
All right. So that was our wrap up for the book of Hosea.
We have one more episode of Hosea left, though.
Well, unless you count the weekly wrap up.
Well, yeah, but I never do.
Right.
Because we're not part of that.
That's just a conglomeration of all of our episodes for the week.
So. We are together speaking into the microphone one more time.
Yes.
On the book of Hosea. And that will be our You're Always Wrong.
Or Contradictions episode.
And we will have a little pop quiz on the end.
We sure will. And then we'll be done with Hosea.
I will have you know I got a 61%.
Ooh, I got something to shoot for now.
You sure do. The average is 64, so...
Damn, you went below the average
I
this time.
sure as fuck did.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I need to...
Here's the thing. There's 11 questions, and the ones I knew, I really fucking knew. Yeah. And the other ones, I either really fucking knew it or I had no goddamn idea.
Got it.
Like, there was no in between.
Okay.
So, good luck, sir.
Well, thanks for joining us again, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep. We have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast.
Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe, leave an Apple review, join us on Twitter, support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.